Poetry can do so much. This is just a very short list of some of the reasons why I am so happy to be part of this service today. Poetry can help us mark time, chart where we are going on our spiritual journey, or where we have been. Poetry can help us mark a holiday or a personal celebration or anniversary. Poetry can help us find inspiration and awe by looking closely at the natural world. Poetry can help us remember and maybe imagine how to change a pattern or transform an experience, as Sally Wen Mao does in her poem, Willow, Stop Weeping. Poetry can help us go deeper in exploring an emotion. Poetry can help us find our community and look more deeply at our friendships and beliefs. Poetry can help us connect with other times in history or other peoples or cultures around the world. Poetry can help us explore what we find beautiful in art objects, in music, or people. Poetry can help us understand the grief and the loss experienced by others or by ourselves. Poetry can help us find inspiration and hope in these difficult times. This year, I had a poem published in this book, Winter in America Again, which it's about poets responding to the 2024 election. The first one is called Today, When. Today, like a sapling burst through a crack in burning asphalt, like the discovery of a new species we just exterminated, like your childhood home burned down or washed away. Today, when the saying goes, if it ain't broke, here's a crowbar. Today, when all the old words are wrong, when your daughter's tattoos threaten to erase her, when even the clothing label printed directly on the fabric seems cause for despair. Today, in shoes that don't fit, trying to catch a bus in a strange city, like putting a brave face on, but it tears, or seeing through the eyes of a refugee. Today, like the dog that was your father's just died, like washing up on rocks that weren't there before, like finding out too late you loved your enemies after all. This is one I just wrote within the last 2 weeks. I'm really not satisfied with it yet, and it doesn't have a name, but it's still within the spirit of my previous poem, so I thought I should probably read what I have. Nothing we can do, but always the next thing we must do. Another cardboard sign, the next march, another email. This is what he did today. Can you spare $6 or $20 or $500? Pebbles, they say, mean an avalanche, but what if you need it to go uphill? Nothing we can do, but always the next thing that must be done. Now flood the switchboards. Water, they say, will wear down stone. But what does that mean to the single drop? It's as dark as underground in the Blitz. The clocks shrink and swell and never say what they should. We can only go one step and then another, always forward and together, as if we are on a chain gang. Never anything we can do, but always the next thing, and the next clanking, dragging step in the dark until we know there are no chains. There never were. We're just holding hands, and morning has come. And the last two I'm going to read just because I've never read them here before. And I'm always feeling like I'm going to bore you guys if I don't freshen up a little. The first one is called This Is Not a Wolf. The wolf lives in his nose. Whetstone, wild garlic, wife's heat, packmate's asshole, blood. Blood's good, means we eat tonight. The wolf knows when he's hungry or thirsty, in pain, or if his onion breath cubs are. He doesn't know there are exponentially more plushy fetishes and plaster totems of him than there are living wolves. He never heard of White Fang, Isengrim, Fenris, Brerwolf. When Mowgli calls him brother, no one asks if he wants a relative. Whether we demand a dog, a villain, a pelt, a spirit guardian, he has no say in the relationship. When he howls, silvered by moonlight, his truth eludes the poet, runs right out of the Sedona Gallery painting, which should be captioned, Ce n'est pas un loup. And he didn't agree to pose for the Sierra Club calendar. The wolf's a wolf. He's not our emotional support animal in the face of his extinction. Let his death at least belong to him. Okay. My last one is another recent animal poem. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce this, Ahahe, which I am sure I'm getting wrong, but it's Navajo for thank you. Jasper the cow. Why did they give him a name? Was a steer, but to me, they were all cows. First, he came to the fence, eyes like a whole planet, a place you could live on. And he licked my heart like a block of salt. When next I saw that tongue, bigger than I thought, it was in wax paper on the counter. Don't know what happened to the eyes. Dear food, how shall we meet in the world to come? Will you eat my tongue and I your heart? This is my question, my prayer, and my thank you. Thank you. Hey. And now we have original poems by Mark James.
There's themes through this, which hopefully are somewhat apparent, but it's just my nature to have some of the major themes. And this first one holds true to that. This is called Your Mother is Dying. Your mother is dying. Embrace her now while she can still breathe a breath, while your tender toes exquisitely squeeze into her grass-green breast. Recline your body next to hers. Rest with her in repose as she remembers the traumas of an abusive past and her life starts to fade to a close. Listen to her words in the turbulent winds. Kiss her cracked and bleeding lips. Our pain, felt deeply, may comfort hers as she howls in the mournful mist. We are living the future we created. This future will become our past. Mother Earth might survive this journey. It seems destined to be our last. This is perhaps a little bit cheerier. This is called A Dark Tale of Addiction. Doesn't sound cheery, but it enters as a demon with multicolored eyes and a siren song, promising escape, retribution, or a stage without an audience, with no one to comprehend the anger, the isolation, the bone-deep pain and confusion. Lash yourself to the masthead if you can, to complete your solitary journey through a narrow passage. Once committed to carrying that miserable monkey on your back, find an honest player on this stage of noir masquerade, while reciting your uncertain soliloquy spoken to your former friend's hollow skull, while distracted by the flashing red lights, acting out in your own addicted head. There is no exit or escape on this living stage. Rewrite this drama tragedy before it ends in a suicide pact over a tale of perverse love. Redirect your story after the players are introduced. Find a character portraying wisdom, possessing clarity and stern compassion from the supporting cast. Steer your ship in a different direction, towards something more solid than hope, towards a solid shoreline. Execute a thoughtfully conceived escape from the premature falling of the curtain. Let the darkness discover the light so that a lost might become a found. I have seen that play. I believe in that story. Let us witness that epic struggle as it unfolds in the hopeful eyes of a rapt audience. Let the script evolve into a boring story of a life regained, of a rent paid, of a meal cooked, of a calm stroll into a multicolored sunset. Thank you. This gets lighter. It gets, now you're not going to trust me. Okay, this is called Clarity in the Fog. The emotional heights and depths seem to expand with age, while memories and names remain just out of reach. They move like a floater in my eye, teasing to be captured, but then darting to memory's margins. So I recite the ABCs again, hoping to catch a clue for recall and false assurance that nothing is really changing. I mourn the losses, but appreciate a wisdom gained and a reception renewed to subtle beauty all around. I appreciate an emerging clarity in this fog, uncluttered by endless things to know, by computers' applications and society's aggravations, other things simply forgotten, often gratefully, not always gracefully. Buoyed up now, I settle down to explore the untrammeled regions of my mind, guided by a subtle centrifugal drift of life's constant current, moving unnoticed until arriving at its final ending. Thank you. This poem was taken from several writings I did when I was on a silent retreat with the Buddhist group that meets here on Monday nights on the other side of the peaks. And we had plenty of time because it was a silent retreat. We couldn't talk to anybody in the group. You just let your mind go where it will. So what I noticed in sitting in one spot was the dying of the trees in that particular area and how just it seemed like devastation was happening. So this is called Life and Death Everywhere. A hot wind trembles trees in a rocky gully. A distant hawk screams an alarm. The living, the dying, and the already dead have not had their final say. Words of ancestral wisdom and water's cool magic both threaten by their absence. A plague of parasites has visited the peaks. Thirst preceded. Nothing new has arrived. Sacred rain has not arrived. Auburn brown blooms of mistletoe have filled in for the springtime greenery. The seasonal symbol of perpetual life lives by kisses of death for a withering host in a homeland full of ponderosa carcasses. The parasitic plant lives to ease the transition to the final throes of death and dying. Desiccated trees desperately hang on to withering stores of sap, hoping for more than has been offered. This cycle is not a circle. Time is change in a spiral that rises up or winds down. Otherwise, we would forever rotate on life's seasick turntable, round and round in a skipping, repeating song devoid of either joy or grief. Conduct your desired musical theme. Meanwhile, love your neighbor under the mistletoe that stands ready to reveal the perilous path we are on. That's it. Thank you. Coming down the home stretch, and I may have violated my time code. Okay. This is written on the 4th of July, I'd say about 4 years ago. And this was an event that I did witness. It's called A Light Goes Out on the 4th. Red lights flashing, speeding by, passing, carrying hearts, racing to an urgent event, waiting and waiting and waiting. On this solemn day for observing bright points of light in a dark sky city. On this day for celebrating past glories that change so quickly. Here at Pluto's home, where one day it is, the next day it is not. Here where light arrives from stars thought as distant, where families gather to witness that light come home to a final rest. We gaze at what has been approaching from the very beginning. We are amazed by this constancy and by the darkness that follows a final extinguishing. A star falls, a flicker of light fades. We cry out with glee. A loved one falls. Their light is extinguished in a final breath. We cry out in despair. 911 strips off the body's thin covering to apply practiced rituals to encourage the light to return again to that heavenly body. Pale flesh shudders rhythmically with each frantic compression. A shocking crudeness amidst an elegance of physics. Quietly, grave endings give way to new beginnings. Disbelief gives way to acceptance. Surrounded by shock while stilled with wonder, a lone cry goes out to the heavens. I will wish on a falling star when the day fades to night, but now I celebrate quiet solitude, surrounded by the beauty of pines as memory reflects on the passing of each precious moment. That's it. And I've been looking forward to this one because it's funny. If it doesn't sound funny, remember it is funny. It's called Where Did the Adults Go? Where did the adults go that so recently were here to give order and assurance in a world fraught with fear? Those who coolly sipped on iced drams of whiskey instead of spiked spritzer preferred by their progeny. Their children search for safe harbor in an unanchored world. They might as well drop onto their side into a tight body curl. Those elders knew what was needed. They grasped the task at hand. Well, I can't find my glasses, and I sure don't have a plan. So let's hold hands and circle round with family and friends. Let's throw a midnight seance and hope they return again. That's it. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Mark. And now we have some more original poems by Skip Rimlow.
I was, excuse me, I was looking through my poems and I started writing them over 60 years ago. And I give credit to my 11th grade English teacher. Everything that I wrote is rhyme verse, iambic pentameter for those of you around long enough. And I apologize if my voice gets raspy. I have a vocal cord tremor and sometimes it behaves, other times gives me some trouble. The first poem I'd like to read is called Delightful Days. I wrote this a number of years ago. I started out writing it for people who turned 40, then for people who turned 50 and 60 and 70, and yours truly just turned 80, so I reworded it a bit. Behold the dawn that welcomes me, life colors on display, a hint of nature's splendid plans for this, my special day. A joyful time, my birth renewed. I'm glad that it is so. No longer do I fear this day. I've reached the big 80. The joys of life stand before me. Grand days await me still. So eagerly I seek to stand on, not over the hill. And so with zest I celebrate the youth that is in me, inspired by the hands of time. The best is yet to be. Thank you. The second poem is called Timeless Journey. And for those of you who have either fantasized about or actually taken a river trip on the Colorado River, my first trip in 1996, we were asked to put together a skit which would occur 9 days later or the evening before the final takeout. So this is a record for me. Poems usually take me a year or longer to write. This one I did in 9 days. Long ago, I took a trip beginning yesterday along the Colorado to learn what rocks can say. Passage booked upon a raft, my river ride of rhyme, rapidly descending through the watery walls of time. Vishnu, schist, and supergroup, proud building blocks of stone, surrounded by formations, both present and unknown. Perched above them sentinels of lime and sand and shale, wait to tell the listener creation's puzzling tale. A passion grows within me, so much I want to know. I seek to learn the language with every mile I go. Yet too soon the voyage ends. It's more than I had planned. As we gently exit from the canyon they call Grand. Trying to find some upbeat ones, picking up on Mark. This one is entitled New Horizons. Today dawns the start of the rest of my life, and with it, reject seeds of anger and strife. No longer I seek to make even a score, to strike back at someone who has wronged me before, nor draw from the deep, dark recesses in me a hate that obscures any good I might see, and gone to a fear based on bias inside, a distrust for those who look different outside. Instead, I will rise and give thanks for this day, focused on good things to think and to say. This one I read to last year at some point to members of the congregation. Hopefully most of you haven't heard it. And to those who have, I apologize. It's entitled Never War, rather appropriate in today's world. I gaze upon the hallowed ground and see so many graves. Were they the masters of their fate, or simply hatred's slaves? Combatants in an ageless clash of ego and of pride, believing that the enemy was on the other side. Ironic that these resting souls, both friends and foe in life, are forever here united, all victims of this strife. Our lives are built upon a truth, perhaps not given voice. The means to peace is never war. We always have a choice. Two more, I'll make it quick because I know Cooper is anxiously waiting to get up here. This is entitled Let's Dance. It's been a long time since I first heard our song. The music so tempting, it just swept me along. I wanted to ask, could we share just one dance? But timing forbade it, so I passed up the chance. The years came and went, but I still heard the sound, and thoughts of us dancing in my mind did resound. Our lives often crossed, yet I never knew when, or how, or if ever I might ask you again. Well, today here we are, as we take our new stance. No barriers before us. May I please have this dance? And the last one, just to show how magical and beneficial poems can be to us. I wrote this 30 years ago for my wife, Andrea, and we've been married for 30 years. And you'll understand why after I read this. Suspense. So, excuse me, entitled, Andrea, This I Ask. And forgive me for reading it, honey, but I know you liked it the first time. Reflecting on the moment when first our eyes did meet, such wonderful emotions that swept me off my feet. The beauty of the passion, real joy within my heart. Senses singing to my soul, your mate, your missing part. Quickly gone the wondering if I would ever be, always searching for someone who makes life whole for me. The trusting and the caring, so deeply do I feel, and boundless sense of knowing that this, our love, is real. Expressing my desire to share with you a life. I want to be your husband. Please say you'll be my wife. Thank you. P.S. Obviously, she said yes, and thank you, dear. Okay, Cooper, you're up.
So who feels like crying now? All right, now I want to welcome a very special guest, Cooper Smith.
Thank you for having me out here today. It'll be a pleasure to read. I've got a few pieces, and I hope you all enjoy them. Oh, okay, there we go. First piece is kind of a collection of childhood experiences that kind of arose out of the context that we are in now. This piece is entitled Border Town. Empathy is the mineral heavy water from the spigot beside the plywood front porch. Mercy is filling these empty gallon jugs with grace. Desperation is the loaded handgun in my mother's shaking hand when the men at the door don't look like they're here just for water. Decision is the point of arrival at the beacon, the flashing red light rescue tower, promising salvation in exchange for deportation. Solidarity is Sasha volunteering to return those who remained, someone's story, last remnants gently peeled from the sand. Persistence is El Camino del Diablo, footpaths paved over the graves of Patayans, Spaniards, Anglos, and Chicanos, all seeking the same. Privilege is pissing off the Border Patrol agents with laser pointers and never fearing the consequences of the spotlight landing on me. Hypocrisy is Fox News never telling my father that the man in the dark is a father, man to man. You can never know what you fear. Silence is the muffled memory carried by foam shoes found discarded in the desert. Shifting patterns in the sand that whisper passing. Guilt is riding to every ghost lost to the memory of my childhood backyard. It is cowering child under the covers as the dogs bark at two coyotes. Haunting is the way that the horse I had as a kid was killed when it broke its neck between the bars of a corral, killed by walls it will never leave. Hope is footprints tracing a path towards prosperity, dreams laid out in the desert, pesos left in the arroyos for Queyron, passage paid across a river of sand. Reality is the messy complexity of the human condition. Reality is gallon jugs and the guarded exchange of strangers. Reality is families and refugees and mothers and mules, the spectrum of humanity spread across the Sonoran Desert. Reality is, I am sorry for every child that walked through the wash behind the house in the silence between mesquites as I listened to bedtime stories. I hope it was you that found my missing G.I. Joes. I hope that G.I. Joe protects you from the policia. I hope it insulates you from ICE. I hope it can be the American hero that we never gave you. Thank you. We'll do a lighter piece this time. So this one will, yeah. I hope I mean it. I'll take a lesson from Mark. So this one will require a little context. So I work in the outdoor industry over at Peace Outfitters, if you know that. So I do the buying, so I get to go see all the new outdoor products and hiking gear and stuff every year before it comes at a trade show. So this is a little bit of the contrast that when you think about climate collapse and the future that we're inheriting while trying to sell people for outdoor gear to go use in that. So this is imagining what that trade show might look like in the future. Newest trends. Due to an evolving market, industry trends have pivoted away from ultralight to ultra-protective for the world where 7D ripstop just won't cut it. In the wastelands, the weight weenie turned road warrior needs to be prepared to tackle the challenges of modern adventure in the waterless wilds. Get the gear you need to step outside of your comfort zones and beyond the habitability zone. Today, the new frontier is the old world. Venture back into yesterday's wilderness with expedition-ready equipment for your most extreme ventures into the void. New, the Nemo Hornet UVX UV Extreme Radiation Tent will shield you from extreme temps of the most remote ozone-free zones. Built to withstand solar wind speeds, includes fallout stake system optimized for bunker-like stability. New, the Mountain Hardware Corrosion Max Dry Acid Rain Jacket combines award-winning rain shell with the added resistance to corrosion from acid rain, protecting you and your skin from Mother Nature's most caustic storm cells. New, Mad Max Marinara Pasta from Peak Refuel, now fortified with potassium iodide to keep your body protected from pesky radiation pockets. Don't forget to pair it with Mushroom Cloud Cobbler for a sweet ending to your day. All of this and more at the 2046 Grassroots Connect trade show, helping specialty retail conglomerate satellite stores meet the adventures of the post-apocalyptic adventurer. We can't wait to see you there. And then one last light piece. I think this is a good one to end on. It's kind of a exercising gratitude and to keep your eyes and heart open even in a kind of rough world. So it's called Bedroom Bird Nests. I once found a bird's nest half built, a scaffold of twigs and sticks perched upon the metal branch of my bedroom window curtain rod. Tucked in just out of sight from the world outside, some sparrow taking an open window for an invitation. And while this may serve as vindication for the critics of my ardent opposition to anything but outside air, I will persist in my practice in spite of dusty shelves and sneaky sparrows. Because to me, an open window is a heart ready to greet the world. Give me your breath, bring me birdsong and the flavor of summer rain. Give me the stillness of snow, gilded sun, and chill painting frost on the windowsills. Do not spare me from wildfire smoke, destruction on your breath. Give me stagnant heat and bitter cold. Give me the ugly, dusty, and allergy-ridden. Give me the world as it is. An open window is an eye unblinking to the world. An open window is a promise to never close my eyes. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Cooper.